Hi everyone, and welcome to Healthy Living. Today our special guest is Lisa Misevich from Relative LLC. Lisa, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me today, Jackie.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And today, folks, we're going to be talking about healthy eating and healthy eating habits and how to keep our family safe in this crazy environment today.
Yes.
But Lisa, first of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background?
Well, I'm married. I have a wonderful husband, Ted, and 3 wonderful kids, but they're grown now. They're all in their 20s, but I actually started this journey when I started to have children some 28 years ago about health and nutrition. And then we kind of slid out of it in the teen years, but then about 5 years ago, I really started to, I'm just a mom, like you, and I started to do my own research because I personally was having some health issues, and I saw that my adult children were having some health issues. So I started to do my own research on health and nutrition, and that's my background, is that I do a lot of research and learn.
Excellent. And you know, I guess, Lisa, what I am tired of hearing all the time on the news is the fact that Americans are heavier than ever before, so we have a weight problem. And moreover, kids nowadays are obese, and of course the consequences of that obesity with heart problems, obesity in children.
Yes.
I mean, I don't remember hearing about not only obesity but diabetes in children. I don't remember hearing about diabetes in children many years ago.
You are exactly right, Jackie, because in 2008, the rate of overweight and obesity in children in the United States was at 32%.
My goodness.
I know, and you are right, because of the obesity, that is causing children to have type 2 diabetes.
Understood.
And really, type 2 diabetes was actually old age diabetes. But
Go again, old age.
Yes. When you would find people in their 50s and 60s developing type 2 diabetes, but they renamed it to type 2 because how can you have a 9-year-old diagnosed with old age diabetes?
Understood.
But the sad part about it is that even the U.S. Surgeon General now rates being overweight and obesity as the #1 public health concern. The disease consequences of obesity are greater than those of any infectious disease epidemic.
My goodness, that's incredible.
Yes.
But I guess, well, what I'm going to ask you is, okay, obviously we're unhealthier now than we were, I don't know, back in the 50s, the 40s.
Yes.
But how is it that we're eating that much different today, Lisa, than we were 30 or 40 years ago?
Well, because part of it is processed foods. And I have an example. If you can hand me the Fig Newtons.
Fig Newtons, yeah.
Yes.
I grew up eating these.
And so did I. I thought, wow, Fig Newtons, I love those even as an adult. I thought, Fig Newtons are healthy, correct?
Yeah.
Well, let me share you a little story, Jackie. These Fig Newtons are 17 months in my cabinet.
What?
17 months. And if you notice, they're the same, right?
Yeah, they look like you just bought them at the store.
Right. Well, because I call it processed factory food, where there's so much preservatives in that, that not even a self-respecting bug will eat it.
Oh my goodness.
And so therefore, our bodies can't digest it. It just kind of sits. So processed foods, it just kind of sits, and if you notice, since we're talking about obesity, Jackie, I just want to share with you, when I go to the grocery store now, you're going to be enlightened about this. You're going to notice when you go to the grocery store, and what's in those food baskets of those families. Now, most families moms are trying to feed their kids right, but they don't know. And And if you watch and see, you know, there's the chips in there, there's the fig Newtons, which they think, well, wow, fig Newtons are really, they're okay because of figs, correct?
Right.
Well, look around and you'll also notice that where are the children heavy? And it's right there, kind of in the stomach and
Yes.
the gut area.
Yes.
Well, that's because those processed foods they just sit there. The body doesn't know it. It's kind of foreign to it.
Oh,
And they just don't know how to get rid of it.
my goodness. And you've got some examples here. I mean, here we've got some vitamin water. I mean, I should be able to go work out and have one of these, right?
Yes, but then, Jackie, look at how much sugar is in there.
You're kidding.
No.
How
That's
many?
How many packets of sugar are in vitamin water? Plus, look at how much sugar is in ketchup. In that bottle of ketchup, there's that much sugar.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
if you notice, when mom takes, you know, moms like to, they're so busy, they work full time, especially a single mom is probably working full time. And now even the mom that has a husband, but they need two incomes. So they're very busy, they're working, they're just trying to get their children to their sports or whatever after school programs, so they don't have time to cook.
Wow.
Or they don't have time to run to the grocery store, so they're stopping at the fast food restaurants. And then what is the first thing the child wants?
French fries.
French fries. And then what
Yes.
does the child want to put on those French fries?
My child used ketchup. Yes.
Yes.
French fries and ketchup.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if you notice, that child is just dumping that ketchup on the French fries. And what I just wanted to share with you too is that you see the bag of sugar there?
There we go. This is a 1 pound bag?
No, 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 no,
5 pound
no.
bag.
That's a 5-pound bag of sugar, Jackie.
My goodness.
That's how much sugar a child consumes in 1 week.
No.
Yes.
How is my child consuming 5 pounds of sugar in a week?
Every child is eating 5 pounds of sugar a week, and it's because of all the hidden sugar in foods that parents just don't realize. For instance, most kids, when they wake up in the morning, what do the parents give them?
Well, Christine has a bowl of cereal, or
Right.
she might have a Pop-Tart. I mean,
Do you ever
or-
look at how many grams of sugar is in that bowl of sugar?
in that bowl
In
of
that
cereal?
bowl of cereal?
Well, no.
Well, I call it the bowl of sugar. Jackie.
I saw that.
And then what's next? What's their snack? You know, if they get to have a snack at school.
Well, a snack in school sometimes might be a piece of fruit, but normally isn't.
No.
Like I might give her glass of milk and her cereal in the morning. She'll take either a Pop-Tart to school or some cookies or, you
See,
know,
and there's your sugar
oatmeal
again.
cookies. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes, and then think about, I know oatmeal's good, but you still have sugar in there.
Gotcha.
And then, like I said, then the parent wants to give them French fries. They stop at the fast food restaurant on the way home. What do? They load them up with the French fries, and then they pour the ketchup on it.
My goodness. I
So
have no
it's
clue.
just all the hidden sugars that we just don't realize.
Wow. Understood.
So that's why your child's consuming about 5 pounds a week of sugar.
Okay, so we have to sort of redirect what they're eating. Now,
Right.
another question that I have is,
And-
yeah, go ahead.
And let me share something with you, is that sugar suppresses the immune system. Now let's get back to, okay, we've talked about obesity, but let's talk about the child that's not obese. Let's talk about the child that, you know, is thin,
Right.
but she's still consuming 5 pounds a week. All
Yeah.
right? And then sugar suppresses the immune system. So then what happens when you have a suppressed immune system?
They're constantly sick.
That's correct.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, I can think of a few examples there. So, and now that you bring up that topic, well, a few years back, it was the in thing to take vitamins and supplements. We know we're not eating right, but we're going to make up for it. We're going to take the vitamins and the supplements. How do I necessarily know that's going to be safe for my family, Lisa?
Well, that's where research comes in. And again, I'm directing you and pointing you. But unless the vitamin, most parents want to give their child, multivitamin.
Yes.
Because that's the way we were taught.
Yes.
Multivitamins. Well, that's okay as long as it's a whole food vitamin. And as you face expression.
So those gummy bears and things that I've been giving her, are those whole food vitamins?
Only you can look on the back of the bottle and see,
say not.
is it a whole food? And what I mean here, Jackie, is whole food is the whole apple, the nutrients from the whole apple. In just this one apple, there's over 12,000 phytonutrients.
Wow.
Minerals, vitamins, okay? Might be in small amounts, but because our body recognizes food, we were made to eat food. Now
we have here a nice display of food right here. Are you telling me I'm supposed to eat all this in a day?
Well, that would be wonderful. Well, we're supposed to eat to help support our immune system and hopefully stay healthy. We're supposed to eat 9 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables a day, but in a variety.
Now, what is a serving?
A serving is, go ahead and make your fist, Jackie.
There we are.
Now, your fist is a little bit different than my fist.
Okay.
And then have your child make a fist.
Oh,
okay.
Definitely be smaller.
Right. Yeah. That is a serving for her. This is a serving for you.
Okay.
So then you have an idea of, everybody's serving is different.
So for my child, instead of this apple, it might be half an apple for her, or maybe a smaller apple.
That's correct.
To take to lunch.
That is correct. That would be one serving for your daughter. But what I want to emphasize here is that, most people think, well, I'll just have 3 bananas today, 3 apples, and then maybe, let's throw 2 tomatoes in there. Well, that's wonderful. That's great. But what about your greens?
Got it.
What about, it has to be, you've heard of the colorful rainbow?
Yes.
Eat the colorful rainbow. You can't go to this grocery store now. Do you? When you go to the grocery store, I want to try to, help you to look at what are they saying on the packages of raw fruits. They're saying eat more, eat more. Now, it's not even the 5 a day anymore. It's saying eat more because they want you to eat more raw fruits and vegetables.
Very good.
But the colorful rainbow is your purple, your orange, your yellow, and that's what's important.
Very good. I love this. Now, folks, please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Parrish Professionals Networking Group, a true source of business referrals. Discover Parrish. Live, work, and play in the heart of Tampa Bay.
Join Parrish Professionals today!
Hi, folks. Welcome back. And Lisa, the next thing I wanted to ask you about was, now that I've got a little one in grade school, I discovered that the food pyramid changed. Why did that happen?
Well, it's important that it happened because, first of all, most of the parents were actually feeding too much starch.
Well, yeah, that was sort of on the foundation, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right. But now, here, Jackie, there's a lovely picture here, and you can actually go to foodpyramid.com. It's fantastic. But do you notice first of all, do you notice what's on the bottom?
Well,
Right there.
Instead of those starches being on the bottom like they used to be, what I'm noticing now is we have, we have exercise on the bottom.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yes.
When did that get incorporated? That's very interesting. And over here we have a nice meal.
Yes, a healthy meal. But let's touch a little bit on exercise and weight control, because as we said earlier in the show about children having such a problem with obesity, well, what did they do 20, 30 years ago in school? They took out the gym class.
Yes.
They're taking out recess. Okay?
My goodness.
So the child is actually, and what do we have too, is video games.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
a lot of video games. Children are not, and moms are working outside of the homes, so if the child is coming home, especially a 13, 14-year-old teenager,
they would be staying inside.
They'd be staying inside,
Yes.
at the computer, at the video games, or even, watching TV. Okay? So there's not a whole lot of exercise.
No.
And movement is exercise. Okay?
Very good.
So
Spending an hour outside and playing.
Right. And, earlier in the show also you asked me, how is our food different than 40 and 50 years ago?
Yes.
40 and 50 years ago, children were coming home from school and they were grabbing their bikes or their baseball bats and they were running outside.
Yes.
And playing
Yes.
till dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the change in the food pyramid. The other part is, notice now, we have vegetables and fruit.
Yes.
Okay.
As a nice bigger portion there, I see. And what do we have here? Oils and fatty acids?
Well, healthy fats and oils.
Healthy fats and oils.
Which is your olive oil. That's a fantastic, healthy oil. But again, you go to thefoodpyramid.com.
Yes.
You do your own research. I'm telling you, I love that website.
I see that.
And then we have whole grains, brown rice, whole wheat pasta. Now I know that, when you're so used to eating all the white flour, the white pasta, again, it's going to be a gradual, just, like you said, my mom, I don't know about you, we were raised on Wonder Bread.
Oh, Wonder Bread, yes.
White flour. So anyway, nowadays, if we can switch over, just make that healthier decision today about maybe a whole grain bread for your children, and then switch eventually over to brown rice and let them try that, because eventually your palate changes.
Very
okay?
good. Starts to recognize?
Yes, starts to recognize this food.
Awesome.
So if you can incorporate a little bit at a time,
Yes.
don't go home in your pantry
and
throw
switch everything now.
Yes. No, because your family won't like you.
Exactly, and we want them to enjoy this.
Right.
Now, I also see some protein up here, too, which is a very good thing to mention. We see some eggs, and we see some poultry, and some fish.
That's correct.
And over here?
We see nuts, seeds, beans, and even tofu.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
So, and beans, my husband is Cuban. He makes a lot of beans. It's a great source of protein when you're cutting back on the red meat. So I think that's fantastic. So we see a nice balance.
If you notice up top where the pyramid is smaller, what do you see is up there is the old way.
Yes.
We have less meat,
Yeah.
less butter, less refried grain, and white rice, brown rice, and sugar and sugary drinks.
That's way on the top.
And salt. So do you see it's way up on the top, meaning less.
Yes, meaning less.
Yes.
Wow, that is great.
But the sad part about it is that it hasn't changed. Even though the food pyramid has changed,
we haven't changed.
We haven't changed.
So I think this is a great opportunity for most viewers to take a look at this and start making some changes in their eating habits. Well, this is fantastic. I also see here that it does give us a small portion of milk and cheese, but also in lesser amounts. Yes. It also incorporates, what is this, wine over here?
That's
but
wine.
Also in moderation.
Moderation.
So we can indulge a little bit. It's all about portion size and moderation once again, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, thank you so much on this segment right here. And folks, why don't we take a quick break, and we'll be right back. So don't touch that mouse.
PJ Sandwich Shop, a Parrish landmark since 1984, located in the heart of Parrish on US Highway 301. Voted the best sweet tea in town and a local favorite. The folks here bring the highest quality meats, cheeses, and veggies right to your sandwich. Family owned and operated and serves only locally grown produce and handmade bread. Come in and give us a try or let us cater your event. Delivery is available. PJ Sandwich Shop. Let's eat fresh right from the farm, not a franchise.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Healthy Living. We're here with Lisa Mesovich, and we're talking about healthy living, and we're talking about eating the colorful rainbow, and we're talking about portion sizes and what have you. But the first thing that I would like to ask you, Lisa, you know that my husband and I have very busy careers, and it seems like we're always on the go. And then with extra school activities with my daughter and what have you, how do I fit this all in? Give me an example of what the daily foods should be. So I get up in the morning and maybe give her some yogurt and some fruit, half a piece of fruit.
Yes.
Would that be acceptable?
That would be fantastic. And it's, you're asking me for some tips here. Well,
Yes.
You're right. Give her some yogurt. Give her a half a piece of fruit. Let her go with you to the grocery store. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store.
Yes.
Help her to see that mom and dad are trying to make some better choices. So I want you to make some better choices so that you are healthy as you grow up.
Very good.
And then when you go home, incorporate her help with washing the fruits and vegetables, cutting them up, putting them in plastic bags for getting ready for school. You know, you have 5 days a week in school. Now, mind you, some of the raw fruits and vegetables aren't going to last those 5 days. So you might be going to the grocery store on Sunday and then again on Wednesday. But if you're with your child, that's quality time. You're teaching her and you're showing her a better lifestyle. So when you cut up those raw fruits and vegetables, put them in the plastic bag, and then you already have them ready for that quick Monday morning. We got to get out the door.
Very good. Now, that's fantastic. Now, Lisa, I wanted to ask a little bit about, here we're taking some apple, we're taking some raw fruits and veggies for a snack. Where do we draw the line between cooked versus raw? Is there a healthy balance there?
Well, there is, Jackie, but some people say that we should eat 80% raw. Now, personally, that's pretty high. I don't want to set people up for failure. So, it's a balance for your family.
Perfect.
What is perfect for your family? Again, we try to encourage people to eat 9 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables a day. Most people can't and don't.
And well, here we have this wonderful broccoli that I know a lot of you might just grab and eat raw, but my family would like it steamed. What happens to this once it's steamed?
What happens is that if we cook, steam, or freeze raw fruits and vegetables, there's enzymes in our raw fruits and vegetables.
What are enzymes?
Enzymes are life. They give life. And an example for that, they're the building blocks, okay? And the best example I can give you is if you take a raw carrot or a raw, let's say potato. You remember that science experiment you used to do when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Right.
Yes.
So you cook it, you steam it, you freeze it, and then you put it in that bowl, that glass of water, or you go outside and you put it in the ground.
Yep.
Dig a hole, put it in the ground. What do you think's going to happen with that?
Well, the one that's cooked really doesn't change that much.
Right. It decays.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the enzymes aren't there. Now, if you take a raw carrot
Yes.
or raw potato, do you remember what used to happen with that science experiment?
Well, at that point, there's not the decaying of the other. It started to root.
That's correct,
Yeah.
because the enzymes were still live, and life begets life.
Yes.
So actually, if you planted that, it would grow a potato, carrot, And that's how life is. That's where, most people, especially women, women will say, I'm exhausted all the time. I'm tired all the time.
Yes.
Well, part of the problem is that they're not getting those live enzymes into their daily diet, and they're exhausted.
Understood.
Because even as moms, what are most moms eating? They're too busy, so they're grabbing for whatever they can.
Well, that energy bar,
Right.
or that energy drink,
Right.
Or that protein shake, or
Yes.
what have you,
Yes. But let's get back to the vitamins. I don't know if
Yes.
we really finished with that.
Sure.
A multivitamin, again, our bodies can't absorb something foreign.
Okay.
Okay? So and we were created and made to eat raw fruits and vegetables. Okay? Whole food. All right? Our bodies recognize whole food. Okay? So if you have a multivitamin or vitamins, B, D, C, your body, if it's fragmented, it's pieces
Yes.
of something, the body can't recognize it.
So
It doesn't.
basically, I'm taking it and I'm
You're
going to eliminate
Right.
it, if you will.
You're going to eliminate, it won't, as I say, it won't absorb into your body, so it won't be of any use. So basically I share with people, I can't tell you not to take it, but I can tell you that you are probably wasting your time and money.
Ah.
Okay? So what I want to share with you is that if you look at your multiple vitamins or if you look at your bottles, see if it says whole food.
I will
Okay?
check that, yes.
And check that. But I will say that I do represent a company that
Yes.
does have a product called Juice Plus, that it is a whole food where it's the whole apple, it's the nutrients of 17 vine-ripened raw fruits and vegetables in a capsule or chewy form for children.
Very good.
And that's the whole orange, the whole apple, the whole tomato. And it's usually the raw fruits and vegetables, kale, spinach, broccoli, that people don't usually like to eat,
Well, but actually, you could adapt in a nice salad some beautiful greens,
Yes.
and some spinach, some raw spinach in the salad, your tomatoes, cucumbers, celery. So I can kind of see that happening,
Oh, yes, yes. And that brings me back to, when you come home at night after work with your child, I know that she might be sitting there at the table doing her homework. I mean, I don't know about you, but my daughter was a senior in high school, and she had her own desk up in her room. She could
yes.
have all the privacy in the world, but she chose to be in the kitchen doing her homework.
That's
A
what happens at
senior-
home.
A senior in high school. So as I'm cooking dinner or making dinner, there's my daughter. So I can incorporate, she's watching me, and so your daughter's going to be watching you. What is mom doing? And then hopefully she's going to, you're making this great big green salad and throwing all this wonderful raw fruits and vegetables, but be careful how much salad dressing. Because salad dressing has sugar in it too.
Very good. Oil and
So-
vinegar?
Oil and vinegar is great.
Yeah.
Olive oil.
Olive oil, yes,
Olive
extra
oil.
virgin olive oil.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic, everyone. This was so much great information, and I appreciate it so much. But let us know how our viewers can contact you when they have specific questions.
Okay. You can contact me on my website, www.relativeservice.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa, for being here today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you watching. And look out for more healthy living tips. Until next time.